A few years ago, massive data centers, the kind fueling artificial intelligence and streaming services, felt like something happening in other parts of the country, like Silicon Valley.
Well, now at least 4 are being proposed in southeast Michigan. They are billed as the backbone of the AI-powered future we've all been hearing about. But what will it mean for the communities where they will be located?
Tonight, I'm talking with local leaders, residents, and experts to dig into the numbers, the promises, and the concerns.
Michael Green is one of 7 trustees who gave their approval to rezoning land in Augusta Township for a proposed data center.
I reached out to you specifically because it was my understanding that you kind of went through an evolution of thought about the data center coming to this area. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, so when they start bringing it in, I'm hearing all this about noise and, and all this other stuff. And being on the board, I was given the opportunity to go look.
Curious, he joined other trustees on a trip to New Albany, Ohio to see a massive data center cluster in person. That visit, he says, eased his noise concerns, though he knows residents have other worries.
Electric going out, diesel power, contamination in the air.
Green took me to see the land on which over 800 acres would be purchased for the data center property by New York-based real estate investment firm Thor Equities.
It's down in the back corner. It's already surrounded by solar. There's a dump there. There's not a high industry for building houses right next to a dump and solar farms. I see no use other than that property than doing something like this. We're not a rich township. We'll help out immensely around here.
The Augusta Township Data Center is just one of 4 that's been publicly proposed around Metro Detroit, with many others reportedly under negotiation. Leslie Simpson's home in Willis would end up right between 2 of them. She thinks she knows why so many are being planned nearby.
I think they're seeing rural communities, rural land that's close to important utility infrastructure, and it has made it a prime site for them to target.
She watched as the Augusta Township Board of Trustees unanimously voted for rezoning the data center after the Planning Commission voted against it.
I'm a general contractor. I plan everything out in advance because if you don't, you're going to run into a bad time. I feel like there hasn't been enough planning and communication.
Augusta Township residents gathered enough signatures to force a referendum. In 2026, voters will decide whether the rezoning sticks. Simpson says she isn't against having the conversation about bringing a data center to her area.
But I really want to understand the impacts that it's going to have on the environment and on utility costs.
So why the sudden boom in data centers nationwide? 2 words: artificial intelligence.
AI needs massive amount of data.
At the University of Michigan, Associate Professor Mosharraf Chaudhry is working to make AI less power hungry, because right now, the energy use is enormous.
AI computation is happening on specialized chips which consume more power. Each one of them, more recent ones, can consume up to 1200 watts, which is almost like a fridge that we have in our houses, a single chip. A server typically will have 8 of them.
A single data center can have thousands of servers, which can mean tens of megawatts or more. And it's not just the chips that require power. They also need to be kept cool to work optimally.
Cooling actually also consumes 1/4 to 1/3 of the total energy consumption of a data center.
And that cooling typically requires a lot of water. Helena Volzer is the Senior Source Water Policy Manager with Alliance for the Great Lakes.
Those facilities can use between 1 and 5 million gallons of water per day.
Volzer knows many states have passed tax incentives, including Michigan, which this year enshrined House Bill 4906 into law, extending tax cuts for data centers and adding incentives for projects built on brownfield sites and former power plants. Volzer says states are doing this despite there being a lot the public still doesn't know about the sector and the industry.
When data centers connect to a municipal water supply, which 97% of them are doing, we don't have any water use reporting requirements.
Volzer also says the use of non-disclosure agreements is a common practice.
What's the challenge with NDAs with data centers is it's obscuring that water and energy use when it's a public resource. And it can impact things that the public pays for, including water infrastructure and electricity bills.
Despite all of this, she says there are places where it would be logical to site a data center.
It's about having these transparency and accountability mechanisms in place so that we can track water use, we can plan for the future. And so I think there's a way to have both.
Leslie Simpson says as a contractor, she knows how important it is to get it right the first time.
We need to stop putting the cart before the horse and actually figure out what's right for us and how we can move forward in a sustainable and responsible manner.
I reached out to the firm proposing the data center in Augusta Township. They sent me this statement that reads in part, "We continue to work closely with Augusta Township officials and residents to ensure the project aligns with community priorities and delivers lasting benefits. From improved infrastructure and new jobs to a substantial increase in tax revenue that would materially benefit local schools and services. The project is designed to deliver an economic boost without adding strain on local resources." A lot of information there.
Yes, a lot, yes.
A lot of things people just haven't heard about yet or learned about. So,
But AI is like full steam ahead, so at least, I mean, that's the AI engine that's coming, right?
people want to be on the forefront of that technology
And we just have to figure out how it's going to help
Yep.
or harm our community.
responsibly.
Responsibly. Oh, good report. All right,
Thank you.
cool.